Y'all, we have something big in store for you today. I'm talking about the new home of Amphibians and Reptiles in Zoo Knoxville, the ARC, the Clayton family Amphibian and Reptile Conservation Campus. It's massive, not just because of its size, but because its contribution to conservation. Inside there, they're taking care of reptiles, lizards, snakes, tortoises, you name it. I can't wait to go see it. But before we do that, we're gonna check in with Sharon Moore, the Director of Development. Hi, Sharon.
Hi, Brad.
Thanks so much for meeting with us.
Welcome to the zoo.
All right, we're excited. Sharon, we're here at this beautiful campus at the ARC. Can you please tell us why the ARC is so significant to Zoo Knoxville?
I would love to. We're so happy to be able to present the Clayton Family ARC Campus to the community. It is transformational for Zoo Knoxville, transformational for the community. First of all, there's hundreds of turtles and tortoises. What's not to love about that? But it's transformational from the aspect of elevating the conservation work we're able to do. It's transformational from the education components we can share with groups and kids, and the interactivity of it and the high-tech aspect of it. It's unlike anything else in the park, and it's transformational for the community in that way to be able to share it with Knoxville and the world. It is unlike anything they've seen before.
This is a loaded question, but how did you make this happen?
Yeah, it's been 30 years in the process.
Wow.
It's been a dream for 30 years. It became a vision about 6 or 7 years ago, but it took massive public-private partnerships and massive public-private cooperation. So many amazing donors stepped up in the community and decided they wanted to be part of making this happen, and here it is. So we're so proud of it, and they are so proud of it, and excited to share it with you.
Fantastic. Well, I can't wait to see inside. Sharon, I think it's safe to say that you're the people person here at Zoo Knoxville, but we're here to see some animals. Can you introduce me to the animal person I'm going to meet today?
Phil Colclough, our Director of Animal Care and Conservation, will take it from here.
Let's go see Phil. Here's a few things to know before we start the day. The ARC is big, but how big? Like more than 50 different species big. Inside the ARC, Zoo Knoxville is doing some work that's changing the world, specifically the turtle world. We've explored a lot of the zoo, but the ARC is something special. It's a huge investment in the zoo's conservation efforts. Whoa. I think I found Phil. Phil?
Hey, Brad.
Hey.
How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
The last time I was here, this place was under construction.
Changed a lot, huh?
Didn't look anything like this. Now it's big and beautiful, and I can't wait to see everything that you have in store for me today.
Yeah, lots of cool stuff. Lots of cool stuff. You know, I look at this every day, and I'm still impressed with what we get to see and all the little nuances of the way things work. We're going to look at Cuban crocodiles. We're going to look at a sloth. We're going to look at king cobras. We're going to look at the way the food is prepped for these animals. We're going to look at the way they move through their habitats. Maybe a giant snake eating something.
Amazing.
Lots of fun stuff.
I can't wait to see all these animals, but I think you said food prep, which is one of my favorite things. So
we'll see if you like these food items.
Ooh,
yeah, maybe you can try some.
That sounds ominous. I can't wait to see what you got in store.
You like crickets?
I love crickets, and it's getting to be lunchtime, so.
We can arrange that.
All right.
You think I'm kidding?
Yeah, let's do it. We're in the kitchen. I've fed lots of animals here. I'm used to watermelons, greens. You know, amphibians and reptiles, they have a different diet. And, you know, right off the bat, I see some fun things like crickets and mice.
Yeah, so I mean, when you talk about herpetology, you're talking about a very vast group of animals.
Right.
Reptiles and amphibians. So that dictates a very vast diet, from folivores to insectivores to carnivores. So yeah, it's kind of a microcosm in the whole zoo. There's lots of different things they eat. Right. You know, we've got crickets here for probably some of our salamanders, for some of our turtles. Frozen mice, frozen thawed out mice. We call them mice sickles.
Mice sickles.
Mice sickles. That'll go to most of the snakes will eat that. Crocodilians will eat the bigger rats.
So Phil wasn't joking about those crickets. I hadn't been in the kitchen for more than 5 minutes before Phil was ringing the dinner bell.
You want a big one or a small one?
I want a small one, please.
You want legs or no legs?
No legs, please.
No legs? That's the best part.
No.
Cheers. What do you think?
Delicacy.
Absolutely, it's good. Prove it. Is it gone? It's good. Your tongue's shaking. Shook you up a little, didn't it?
Feeling okay? Yep, I'm good.
That's good stuff.
You go to the bathroom?
Nope.
He will in an hour.
You know, it was fine, and then it wasn't fine. All right, Phil, I'm full now.
Understood.
But now the animals got to eat.
We're gonna feed some milk snakes.
Milk snakes?
Very cool animals.
What do we got to prep?
We gotta prep some mice. Did you think when you woke up this morning you'd be giant dead mice?
Definitely not.
Well, here you are,
Here we
living
are.
the dream.
You know what? These snakes got to eat.
Yeah.
I'm happy to feed them. All right.
Very cool. Just a little care package. Let's go this way. This is a room that has some venomous snakes in here as well.
Okay.
Every single animal has its own card.
Yep.
And if you see hot written on the card, that means it's venomous. These are food cards, so we keep track of all the feeding, what they fed on, what they ate, if they didn't eat. So each one of these animals has a card on it, and you don't ever, especially in a room that's mixed venomous and non-venomous, you don't want to just look at the snake and say, oh, whatever. This is a milk snake in here, one of our native milk snakes, an eastern milk snake. This is its food card.
Okay.
We see it does not say hot.
Okay.
We see that this is indeed a milk snake. So we'll open this, and this would be a whole different procedure if this were a venomous snake. You still want to use tongs. It's a little less invasive for these snakes. Grab one of these mice, just kind of mid-body.
Okay.
There you go.
Nope.
I'll help you.
Yeah.
If you drop it again, you have to eat it.
Okay.
All right, you see its head right there?
All right,
so
milk snake.
just present to that snake. And after it grabs it, I want you to shake it just a little bit. Oh, hold on, it's gonna grab it right there on the butt. Okay, shake it a little bit. Make it think it's alive. It'll throw a coil around it. Okay, now you can let it go. I'm gonna help you a little bit. Again, my job is threatened.
Wow.
So they constrict their prey. So constriction is a food getting mechanism. If you're not venomous and you don't have arms and legs, there's not a lot of easy way to get your prey without killing it first. Some animals will eat them live if it's something that won't hurt them being alive. But a mouse could potentially injure a snake. So they have to kill it and constrict it pretty quickly. And it's just a natural part of the behavior. And what they'll do, eventually the snake will move around to the head and start swallowing from the head. If you've ever pet your dog or cat backwards, you know the hair stands in a particular direction. It's kind of the same way as swallowing it. Makes it a whole lot easier to swallow if they start at the head and move all the way back. And they'll swallow it completely whole. All right, so tug on that. Look at these.
Good.
Let's take the feed card before we move to the next one. And this is May. This is the 4th week of May, correct?
Yep.
Just write one M.
Okay, for mouse.
Yep. If this was a lock check, I would check it after you. If I physically saw you put your hands and jerk on that thing, that's not enough. I want to physically put my hands and pull on that thing as well.
Okay.
And good zookeepers lay in bed at night thinking about that lock and that lock.
Gotcha. Personally, I think I'm well on my way to becoming one of those good zookeepers. Phil might say otherwise. Up next, we're dishing out those crickets to our friends in the greenhouse. Turtles.
All right, so there's a little pre-prep involved with these chickens. There's a little pre-prep involved with these crickets.
Okay.
That tastes like chicken, right? They've got to be full of vitamins.
You gotta have the vitamins.
They gotta have vitamins. So what we do, this is a very specific turtle vitamin.
All right.
There's a little scoop in here. And you put a little in there. Let me do a little more.
Yeah.
So this actually smells really good, for real.
Oh,
It's not bad, right?
it's
Or
like
do you
protein.
think so?
It's like protein powder.
Yeah, that's probably exactly what it is. So just put your hand over the top of that and shake it up.
Really?
Taylor Swift song that goes along with that one.
Oh my gosh.
Like shake and bake.
It's like a cricket club.
That's right. So now they are covered in their vitamins.
All right. After
And
the
we will
cricket
go
rave,
out to the greenhouse to feed the turtles.
let's do it.
So there's a number of different species of turtles in here.
Yep.
And they love crickets.
Okay.
And what you got is a bucket full of crickets.
So.
So just grab a handful of crickets
Okay.
and watch them chow.
Just drop them in.
It is, and you can take 5 or 6 at a time. Doesn't that feel great?
It does feel weird.
And a really big important part of our job, other than this conservation with these turtles, is telling our public what we're doing, telling our guests. I mean, it's a really, really important, this is a public space where we want to communicate with our guests, tell them what we're doing. Turtles are endangered all over the world, especially a lot of these Asian turtles that we're working with. So, so it's really important we keep them healthy here, and it's really important that we get this message out to our guests that are seeing this happen. So, I mean, it's a really important part of the job as well, other than just physically feeding the turtles. There are days we will have the keepers actually with a microphone on, talking about what they're feeding.
Bucket of crickets. What do you think about that?
Somebody want to reach in there and grab a handful and feed them? Anybody? Anybody? No takers?
No takers.
It's just crickets. You sure? How about any of you guys? Any of you guys want to grab a handful of crickets?
I will.
Oh, look at her.
Look at it. She's
right
ready.
on. Look
She's
at
ready.
this. She come over here this corner. Reach in there and get you a handful of crickets and just throw it down in front of these turtles. Right there.
Right there.
Look at that. Another threat to my job. Good job. That's awesome. So it's really important we interact with our guests so they can. So you just helped save an endangered species.
All right, Phil. Who else are you feeding?
Most of these species in here eat crickets.
Okay.
Let's see if we can find somebody else. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Again, is that on your list of things you thought you'd be doing this morning?
This is incredible.
It's my job every day.
It does feel really weird.
Yeah, it really does. Does it taste as weird as it feels?
It tastes a lot better than it feels. The next section of the Ark we're visiting is going to be hot, just like those feed cards. It's the Venomous Gallery, and it's where Phil's favorite animal lives. Phil, that is a massive cobra.
That is in fact a king cobra.
The king cobra.
Quite honestly, the coolest reptile on the planet, in my opinion.
I mean, I don't know what I was expecting.
Yeah.
But it's huge.
Yeah, she's a big girl. I mean, you know, this is the species that any snake kid, which I was.
You were a snake kid?
45 years ago, and still am, longs to take care of and see in a zoo. And you know, I mean, here I am. They're visual.
Yeah.
They're smart. They learn routines.
Oh, really?
They're incredibly dangerous, but and just large. I mean, it's a gigantic venomous snake. I mean, they can be 18 feet long. Yeah, and this animal's about 13.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow. So you know, big giant enclosure. You know, that's one of the things we wanted to do in the Ark is give our animals a lot more space. This is the Venomous Gallery where we, you know, this is the more traditional, what you're used to when you come to a snake house. But it's very non-traditional in that these enclosures are huge. The plantings are really specific to the regions. We're doing a little, you know, archaeology in here, so you're learning about cultures as well as the animals.
I'm loving this enclosure. Like, it kind of reminds me of Indiana Jones.
Yeah, a little.
And then, you know,
why did it have to be snakes?
Yeah, and then you got
which
that
weren't snakes, by the way. Those were legless lizards. And when I was a little kid, that movie was ruined for me. When I saw those, I was like, those aren't snakes.
Wait, really?
A bunch of them are legless lizards. That's a whole nother thing. But yeah.
Okay, sorry, we can nerd out about that all day long. Back to the Venom Gallery. So everything in here is venomous.
Not everything. We've got some boas and pythons in here as well that are not venomous. There's no such thing as a venomous boa or python, but there's a lot of really, really cool, dangerous, beautiful stuff. A lot of the most venomous animals in the world are really beautiful with those morning colorations and camouflages and that sort of thing. So, yeah.
Well, she is absolutely gorgeous.
She's impressive. I'm glad to hear you say that.
Yeah, I mean,
I think so too. I think she's beautiful.
She's absolutely beautiful. I mean, I'm terrified.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm in awe of her.
Right.
Phil gave me the full personal tour of the gallery, but for that, you'll just have to come see it for yourself.
You want to see a really big snake? Yeah.
Is that a python?
Yeah, it's a reticulated python from Southeast Asia. So that's the world's longest snake on the planet.
Oh my gosh.
I think the record is 33 feet long and close to 250 pounds.
Shut
I mean, it's a big animal. And because it's not venomous, there are no venomous boas or pythons in the world.
Okay.
And it's a constrictor, a giant constrictor. And you know, most snakes can eat something about twice the girth of their body.
Right.
And she's about like this. So yeah, let's.
So me.
Humans are not on their menu.
What does she eat here?
Rabbits.
Rabbits.
Yeah, you want to see that happen? You know,
yes.
we did the little mouse before. I mean, that's like training wheels for this.
Let's make that happen.
Cool, let's do it. This is we've graduated to a bigger prey item. Yeah, and I probably will feed this one.
Okay,
If you're okay with that.
I'm totally cool with that. Oh yeah.
Just don't forget there's toads.
Okay, let me see if I can see where she is.
She
Look
is
at that.
literally
You see
right
the
there.
face right there?
She's literally right there.
She knows this rabbit's here.
Oh my gosh.
But you want me to get the door for you?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Ready?
Yep. All right, you ready? Hey girl, you want this? So it's just a bigger version of what we did before. And her mouth is occupied. Y'all can come a little closer if you want to see that process a little better.
Oh yeah.
So this is constriction like we talked. It's no different of a process than it was with the milk snake earlier, except it's just a bigger version of it.
Right. Incredible.
Yeah, it's a really, really neat snake, and it's a really neat process. And this will probably take an hour.
They just take their time eating.
Yeah, for sure, and they don't eat very often. It's like eating the Thanksgiving turkey with your arms tied behind your back.
We're trading one massive reptile for another as we head over to prepare to feed the star of the ark, Miguel, the Cuban crocodile. Miguel likes to put on a show while he eats dinner, as Cuban crocs are known for leaping out of the water to capture their prey. So we're going to be dangling a nice treat into his exhibit.
So this is the remote for the hoist. So it's already up.
Okay.
So you need to
Go down.
push that and let it go down.
All right. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh yeah.
That's probably plenty.
Okay.
So let her go. Now we're gonna tie this rat on.
All right.
I'm gonna let you hold this
Together.
rat. I'm gonna give you a job.
Okay.
All right, place leg in said hole. And let's see if we can get it around this part.
Okay.
So maybe hold my rat again hold the rat, or pull that tight if you want to do, whatever you want to do.
Okay, that's on there good though,
All
right?
right, so you want to test it?
I mean,
You got to do it with your mouth though.
I think it's on there good.
I think it's
Try
good. It'll swing around that edge. Oh, that was perfect right there. Okay, that's probably good. Think that's good, Steven? Okay, now we'll go around front
right, let's
and
do it.
bring it the rest of the way.
Heck yeah.
So come all the way out to the middle. All right, stop right there. Don't you think, Steven? Okay.
Good?
Okay. Oh, he's moving. He's moving. He's yeah, keep going. Okay.
So I need you to get above the water.
Okay. Think I should cowbell, Steven? Oh, here it comes.
Here it goes.
All right, go ahead and lower it. Okay, stop for a second. He probably sees it. Yay! Oh, I rang the bell and I probably shouldn't have. Awesome. That is really cool. Good job. That is really, really cool. You did exactly what you were supposed to.
Good job, Miguel.
Yay, good job, handsome boy.
I mean, I'm just in awe right now. Like,
As you should be. That's like, who gets to do that?
the rope stayed on this time and everything.
Yeah, that is really, really cool. What a good boy.
Good job, Miguel. You can see why Miguel is the star of the ark, but there's one other animal who might be giving him a run for his money as a fan favorite. What do we got going on here? Please walk me through this.
We have a sloth going on here. So we have a sloth named Joe here, which is an integral part of this whole facility and obviously a crowd favorite.
Yeah.
So when you put any animal in a new facility, you got to train them. You got to make sure they're comfortable with it. So we're trying to get Joe acclimated to have choice and control as to whether or not he wants to come in and out. So our awesome team of sloth keepers are here right now going through a training demonstration to get him out on this platform, get him comfortable, and we take little baby steps every day. This whole tree right now is his indoor enclosure. So this is his safe place. This is where he goes to sleep. This is where he comes down on the ground to poop. And this is just what he does. So they're giving him the choice to come out right now, and we hope he will because he's got choice.
Right, for sure. All right, Joe, we're counting on you. It wasn't long before a zookeeper walked up to me and said, "You're going in to see Joe." So excited.
Thank you for
Can't wait to see Joe and the Sloth Team 6.
I mean, all right, come on in, Brad.
I think it's happening.
Can I step over this branch? All right, hi, Joe. How are you, buddy?
It is okay to feed him. What you're going to do is you're going to pinch it let him sniff it, and then just put it right in his mouth like that. Just watch your fingers. He's
Okay.
got crazy
Cool,
teeth.
huh?
Amazing.
So this is Joe Sloth's off exhibit space. So I mean, this is where we give him the choice to be out there or be in here. Right now he is choosing to be in here. Choice and control is a big thing at this zoo. We want to give the animals the most choice that they can make about being on exhibit or not, where they're the most comfortable. So come on up. You're welcome to move a little closer.
I think I'm gonna get closer to Joe. Let's see if Joe is hungry. Joe, you hungry?
So let him sniff it. He realizes that's something good to eat. Zucchini.
Do I just let it go?
Yep, just let it go.
All right.
And he'll hold it. I mean, how cool is that? I mean, that's a cool thing right
It's the
there.
best day of my life.
And I'm a reptile guy. That is very cool. And you got a sloth butt right in your face too. Have you ever had that before?
Never.
You know, it's an animal that hangs upside down all the time, and their organs have evolved in a way to deal with that. I mean, so they are made to, how much part of their life, 99.9% of their life is spent hanging upside down. So, I mean, they've evolved the placement of their organs over time to accommodate that.
That's incredible.
They come down to poop once a week. That's about the only time they really come down. And feel free to feed them again.
All right. So tell me more about Joe. Where would Joe be found in the wild?
Tell us, Annie.
Joe is from South America.
Okay.
South America. So when you think about the Amazon rainforest, anacondas, those
Yeah.
big jungle trees, he's going to live up in that rainforest down in South America.
And they're fairly common to see. I mean,
Right.
when you're there, it's a fairly common, despite their camouflage. And something cool about their camouflage is they move so slowly and they live such in a high moist environment. They actually get algae growing on their fur. So you'll see green sloths periodically that serves as part of their camouflage.
Here you go.
That face. What a cool animal.
What a cool animal.
It's just bizarre. The more bizarre an animal is, you just stare and you can't believe it. Sloth is one of those things I don't know that I would believe was real unless I saw it
Exactly.
in first person.
Just so unique. I've asked Phil a lot today, but now it's time for your questions. So Phil, the people have spoken, and we have gone to social media to ask questions, and we have a few questions about the Ark.
Sure, bring them on.
All right, so Jax wants to know, how do you decide what new species to add to the collection?
So it's a big question, but it kind of depends on our facilities, as well as if that particular species needs to be worked with from a conservation standpoint. We need to allocate our space and time for things that are really important, and as well as appealing to our guests.
This question's about Miguel. And is there a Mrs. Crocodile coming soon?
There is. Her name is Rose. And the plan initially was to bring them both at the same time.
Okay.
But in the meantime, in the presence of Miguel, she became gravid or pregnant.
Oh, okay.
And you don't want to move a gravid crocodile.
Gotcha.
So we're going to let her lay her eggs and bring her to be rejoined to Miguel in the next month or so.
Interesting. How's that? Is that going to be okay to rejoin them?
We hope.
Okay. Fair enough. So Andrew on Facebook wants to know what's going to happen to the old reptile area.
Well, we're still using it some. Okay. There's some back of house enclosures that we're still dependent on with some of the tortoises. Long term, we're not sure what we're going to do with that space. It's a beautiful high mountaintop green space in the zoo, so it is prime real estate in the zoo. So we have, every department has different plans for it right now, and our president and CEO will settle on one of those.
Gotcha. Okay. So the next question is what everyone on Facebook and Instagram wants to know about Joe the Sloth. Is he adapting well? And when is the best time to go see Joe?
Right. So he is adapting very well. As far as the best time to come see Joe, that is still up in the air.
Gotcha.
And we're letting him dictate his own routine, and he is being, as you might imagine, very slow with that.
Right.
So I've got no really good answer for that. So that just means come to the zoo all the time, 6 different times a day.
There you have it, guys. Come to the zoo as much as you possibly can.
And you can see Joe.
And you can see Joe. Phil, thank you so much for everything.
You're welcome. Had a great time. Super
Eating
fun.
crickets together.
Hey, that was awesome.
We've bonded, man.
No
yeah,
doubt.
Absolutely.
For sure.
All right, thank you so much, man.
You're very welcome.
Oh my gosh, you guys, that was so much fun. I had a blast. I'm exhausted. I eat crickets. I fed some snakes. Thank you so much to Phil and to everybody at the Ark. And thank you to so much to these people over here that donated to make the Ark a possibility. I can't wait for you guys to see the Ark and see all the rare and exotic species they have inside. Coming soon in that building over there is gonna be otters. And you ought to be following us on YouTube. Like, subscribe, leave a message. Let me know what animal you want to see next. Until next time, I'm Brad, and this is The Wildlife. This is Brad's confessional. Day 1 on the Ark. We're out of food. I've resorted to eating crickets and rats.